It's like you do the work, you do the classes, you do all of the stuff that you need to do to make sure that you have the skill set and you're always staying on top of your game. But then there's the other side of it where it's the mental gymnastics. And are you flexing that positivity muscle? Are you trusting that you are enough and you're worthy? Are you filling yourself up outside of it? That's a whole other side of this career that impacts you.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you educational lessons and real-life stories behind the scenes of film and television. I'm your host, Jason Lockhart, talent agent, and today my badass guest is Gabrielle Byndloss. How you doing, Gabrielle?
I am doing so good. I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to chat.
I'm honored to have you. You are such an inspiration for not just young women, but I think like everyone because of your personality and your drive. I mean, you're just so beautiful inside and out.
Oh, thank you. That is the entire reason I got into this industry, was to inspire other women that look like me. So you're just singing my praises right now.
I love it. Well, I want to talk about Olivia Walker.
Okay.
So Gabrielle is famous for playing Olivia Walker in the Marvel Universe. Can you talk to me about that audition? Like, go back to the audition. What do you remember?
Yeah. I remember it was an extremely rainy day and I was not on my best. And I was so concerned because it was, 2018, I want to say, and the role only said wife. And I remember the instructions said, we're looking at you for this project, but we're also looking at you for future Marvel projects. And my actor brain now would look at that and say, wow, what an opportunity. They just want to showcase and see who you are. And that's it. And see if you fit into any of the worlds. But back in 2018, I had a different mindset where I just wanted to get it right. And I think having such an open-ended made me feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to put the pressure on, do the best I could do. And conveniently, it was not my best day in life. I had heard some news right before recording that wasn't great.
Wow, I never even knew that.
Yeah, it was not great. I can share my cousin, who's actually deaf. She had an episode and it just wasn't great. No one was there to be able to help her. So I got that information right before I walked in to tape the audition. And I remember not being able to focus as much on the audition and having to rely on the fact that I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. I did the work prior to this. Let's go in and record this so you can be there for your family right after. And I think that helped me a lot because I did exactly what I would tell actors to do now. I showed up as me. I did the scene. I trusted my work and I walked away from it. And then you call me and you're like, hey, you're in the running for the Marvel project. I'm like, wait, what?
I remember being at Home Goods with my parents who were visiting.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Because you were like, I'm in the aisle at Home Goods. You're in the running. I was like, what's happening? What are you talking about? You're like, yeah. You're, giving me the breakdown for it. And it felt like my world was spinning because, it's Marvel. And the acknowledgement that on what I felt like wasn't my best day was seen as professionalism and quote unquote good enough for a role. And thinking in that moment, like, man, if that day had been any other way, I don't know if I would have been here. I think I would have pushed too much and tried to really show them how great I was at that moment, which wasn't needed.
No, because you've already established that.
Yeah.
You already established that you were a professional. You had such a resume at that point,
yeah,
too, that you knew what you were doing and trusted it.
Yeah.
It's a craft.
It's a craft for sure.
Unlike an athletic skill.
Yeah.
Once you've got it, you've got it.
You've got it. And it becomes almost harder, I think, to trust in that, but that becomes the workout. It's like you do the work, you do the classes, you do all of the stuff that you need to do to make sure that you have the skill set and you're always staying on top of your game. But then there's the other side of it where it's the mental gymnastics. And are you flexing that positivity muscle? Are you trusting that you are enough and you're worthy? Are you filling yourself up outside of it? That's a whole other side of this career that impacts you when you walk up to tape that audition.
100%. So take me to set. When did you find out who you were playing and working with?
Well, so I didn't know until I went to the costume fitting.
I faintly remember that news.
I had no idea. I think even all of us were just like, okay, well, do your best and congratulations and we're proud of you. And I walk in and all of the wardrobe is red, white, and blue. And I'm like, hey, excuse me, quick question. Do you mind telling me who I'm playing? And the lovely costume supervisor was like, you don't know. And I was like, no. She was like, oh, you're Olivia Walker. I was like, awesome. Do you mind telling me who Olivia Walker is? And they're like, okay, well, long story short, you're John Walker's wife. who's Captain America for just a bit in the series. And then some other things happen, but I probably can't tell you that. But yeah, that's who you are. And I remember thinking in my head, like, what did they just say? Oh my God, this is an opportunity. I can't believe this. Wow. And on the other side, like the outward was just like, okay, thank you so much. That's incredible news to know. And then I got in the car and I like gave myself a giant squeal of a scream. And then tears just streamed down my face of like, what an opportunity to do exactly what I said I wanted to do. Make other women that look like me feel like they can be here. I mean, Captain America's wife, if we go back 10, 20 years ago, she didn't look like me. She wasn't there. Like,
And you just earned it.
Yeah. It was crazy.
You know?
Crazy and also
And nice evolution in the industry.
Yes, for sure.
And in the Marvel universe.
And in the Marvel universe, from sides that said wife that were 2 pages long.
Yeah, you never know sometimes.
Never know.
That's the power of saying yes and doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So who did you work with and how cool was it?
Okay, so cool.
I mean, I know, but
yeah,
like,
you know.
I don't know if everyone knows.
Might not know. Yeah, I think the best person to work with was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, of course. She was just such a force on set. And I remember that information was kept secret even from the cast for a long time. Just out of protection and trying to make sure that the world stayed as crafted as it was. But when she walked onto set, man, the energy and presence that she had, you just can't help but soak it up and just be so excited to be there. And then as a castmate, she's so giving. Like there's looks that she doesn't have to give you, but she still does. There's moments where she acts just a bit more so you have something to play off of. There's in between takes that she's like working and speaking with you. And there's so many people I got to work with that were incredible in the Marvel universe, but being able to work with her was just really stood out for me.
I mean, she's a legend.
Yeah, she's a legend.
You know, legend, award winner.
Yeah, literally.
Well, it's crazy. You've dropped like so many nuggets of information and helpful things for the viewers.
Yeah.
Would you say that there's any one particular lesson or something that trumps the others that came from this whole experience that's helped you today or could help people that are aspiring to get where you're at?
Yeah, I think outside of what I've already said, sometimes if you allow the roller coaster of being in this industry to help you find your sense of self, magic will happen on the other end.
I'm so glad that we have that recorded forever. That is beautiful, Gabrielle. I mean, that is. I want to hear that again,
Yeah,
and I will. I'm going to
over.
watch this over and over. Well, thank you so much. And a last question.
Yeah.
Is there any dream role that you would like to play if you could craft it or get the breakdown? Like, what would you like to play?
Oh, yeah. There is a book. It's in production right now. It's called Vanishing Half. And it's about 2 women, sisters. They are both light-skinned. And one decides to live their life as a white woman. And the other one decides to live their life as a black woman. And it's the juxtaposition between what that looks like and how that can be in their twins. And so I imagine the role will be played by the same person. And since that's been such a big part of my life, that's like my dream role, to play her.
I want to figure out how we can get you an audition for it.
I know. We'll look back at this. We'll be like, we did it.
We did it. We're going to hashtag everything about it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. As a quick token for being a guest on our show, what if I were to tell you that you won a free car today?
A free car. Wow, a free car.
So I have
What
this
kind of
bag
car?
from Sarah Carpenter, Star Wars bag. She thought of me and got this. Sarah's my boss.
Okay.
If you want to just watch out for the mic here, reach in and grab without looking. Grab yourself a car.
Grabbing myself a car. Oh, and the car I won.
What'd you get?
Oh, a red Hot Wheel BMW 507, ladies and gentlemen. This feels like me in a car. We're
That
good.
is you. I could see you in a convertible BMW.
Wow. I'm a lucky
Well,
winner.
thank you so much for being here. And if you or anyone watching has a great story from set, like an educational lesson that you want to pitch and you want to be a guest on our show, feel free to. Just pitch to talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, pitch your story to talentagenttalk@gmail.com. We'll be looking through for inspirational stories, and maybe you'll be next. Thanks so much, and I hope something good happens to you today.
Thanks again so much for watching. And if you loved that story and were interested to learn more about the casting office that actually cast that show, then I have some really cool news, because our sister show, Get Seen Unscripted, actually had them on the show. So you'll see it right here. Do not miss that episode. Over an hour on one-on-one with that casting director, talking about things that they like, don't like, to help give you the edge in your next audition. So thanks again so much for tuning in and watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.